Hi everybody, welcome to Social Group. Today we're going to continue reading Spring According to Humphrey, and I have my special guest reader here, Lily, to help us out. So we're going to get started with Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, The Waiting Game. After Aldo's car had left the parking lot, I decided to go see Gigi. She's the guinea pig in Miss Mac's first grade class. I'm going to check on Gigi, I said. I won't be gone long because she has to get to sleep. I'm happy that hamsters don't sleep through the night because that's the time I have my biggest adventures. I'm only sorry that Al worries about me when I'm gone. I jiggled my lock that doesn't lock and scurried across the table. I took a deep breath and slid down the table leg to the floor. I scrambled across the room and crawled under the door, then raced down the darkened hallway to room 12. Once I was inside, I hurried to the table by the window. I wasn't sure if Gigi was awake or not, so I quietly squeaked, "Gigi, hi, it's me, Humphrey." "Hi, Humphrey," she replied in a soft voice. "I'm positively thrilled that I can understand Gigi. I can understand."
I can understand humans, but they can't understand me the way Gigi does, and I still haven't figured out frog language. I was hoping you'd visit, she said. Can you come up here? Getting up to the tabletop is always dangerous, but I grabbed onto the blind cord, which hung almost on the floor, and slowly swung higher and higher until I could let go and leap onto the table near Gigi. "Did you see the ice this morning?" I asked. "Here it is March, and we had an ice storm. All my friends in room 26 can't wait for spring to come." "What's spring?" asked Gigi. She's a little younger than I am and hasn't been in school very long. "It's what comes after winter," I explained. "It gets warmer and greener and things start to grow again." "Oh," Gigi said, "I don't know about those things." "You will," I assured her. "Just pay attention in class. Ms. Mac is a great teacher." "I know," Gigi said. "I love Ms. Mac." "I love Miss Mac too, even though she broke my heart once and moved away. Luckily, she came back. She's not my teacher anymore, but she still visits me sometimes." Gigi suddenly yawned. "Sorry, Humphrey," she said. "You know I go to bed early." "I know," I replied. "I like to stay up late."
"It's not easy to sleep with blinds open," she said. "The streetlights shine up in my cage and wakes me up. Miss Brisbane used to close the blinds at night, but Aldo started opening them so I could see outside. I guess Aldo opens them for Gigi too. Maybe I can close them," I said. I explained the blinds.
Examine.
I examined the blinds. Up until that moment, I'd only used the cord as a way to make my way up to the tables in room 26 and room 12. I usually gently swing myself up to table level. I don't weigh very much and I've never had a problem, but in order to make the blinds come down, I gave the cord a hard yank. Nothing happened, so I pulled it to the left. Suddenly the blinds crashed down and the cord lifted me up on the table. "Humphrey, what are you doing up there?" Gigi asked. "I'm stuck," I said. I was feeling scared. If I let go, I'd fall down on the table and might hurt myself. I knew I couldn't hang on forever. I needed a plan. I needed it quickly. I looked around to see if there was something soft on the table. There were snacks, stacks of paper, and a few books, and as well as Gigi's Gigi's guinea pig food.
Then I saw it, a box of nice, soft-looking tissues. Unfortunately, they were too far away for me to jump on. Gigi, have you ever tried jiggling your lock open? I asked. No, she said. Why? If you have a lock that doesn't lock like mine, then you could help me, I said. Oh, I want to help. What should I do? Gigi asked. I told her to push up, push down, and jiggle, jiggle, jiggle the lock. Nothing happened. Try leaning against the door with all your weight, I suggested, then jiggle the door. Gigi put her body against the door, and then she wiggled and jiggled, and oh my, the door swung open wide. Gigi gasped. Now what? I asked her to push the tissue box until it was directly around under me. She didn't waste any time. She slid the box toward me until it was right under my legs. That's it, I said. I closed my eyes and let go, dropping down onto a very soft bed of tissues. Are you okay? Gigi asked. I sneezed because a little tissue fluff got in my nose. I'm fine, I said. Thanks for saving me. I climbed out of the box and hopped onto the table. I was scared, Gigi whispered, but you're very brave.
I was a little bit scared too, I said. Thanks for helping me. I promise I'll never make that mistake again. Then I realized that we had another problem. The tissue box, the top tissue where I landed wouldn't be clean. Even though I'm a very clean hamster, I wouldn't want one of my human friends to use it. Luckily, I had another plan. Gigi and I pushed the tissue box on its side and gently removed the top one. Won't Miss Mac notice that the tissue box is on its side? Gigi asked. Yes, but she won't know that we did it, I exclaimed. I was going to push the tissue on the floor, but I didn't want Aldo to get in trouble. I pushed it under the bag of food instead. So now that you're out of your cage, would you like to go on an adventure? I asked. We can just slide down the table leg. Gigi looked horrified. Guinea pigs don't slide or climb. It's too scary. That seemed strange because hamsters like me love adventures. My friend yawned. Sorry, Humphrey, but it's my bedtime. Night, night. She crawled into her cage and pushed the door shut. Yep, the locked. The lock locked.
The lock looked locked. The lock looked locked.
Just like mine. When I got back room 26, when I got back to room 26, greeted me with a series of boings.
Mm-hmm.
I was used to the strange sound he makes, but he was unusually loud.
Sorry I was gone so long. I was just, hanging around, I said. I tried to make a joke, but dangling in midair hadn't been funny at all. I'd never look at blinds cords the same way again. Later, I got out my little notebook to write about my fur-raising experience. I loved writing by the warm glow of the streetlight. Hamsters and guinea pigs may understand one another, but we're different in so many ways. My classmates and I spent a lot of time looking for signs of spring, but we didn't come up with much. My mom ordered seeds for her garden, Philippe said one day, but she can't plant them yet. I'd still say that was a sign of spring, Mrs. Brisbane said. March was a funny month. We'd have sunshine and warmer weather for a few days, and suddenly it would rain and turn cold and gloomy. Og, have you seen one single sign of spring yet? I asked after 2 weeks of feeling frustrated. He replied with a very bored sounding boing. Me either, I said. My friends were as frustrated as I was. You'd think the leaves would be budding, Holly complained. Not now, Nicole sighed. You'd think the flowers would be blooming. Where are the robins, Rosie wondered.
Miss Brisbane smiled. They'll be here soon. The first day of spring is coming up. Small Paul raised his hand. I was reading up on the average temperatures of March here, and this is completely normal. There were several loud groans. It's not my fault, Paul said. It's a scientific fact. We don't blame you, Paul, Rolling Rosie said. But why does science have to be so scientific? At least it made everybody laugh. A few days before the first day of spring, it snowed again. This is not fair, Harry groaned. Danielle agreed. At least it could have snowed enough for them to call off school. Miss Brisbane went to call off school. Miss Brisbane went on to talk about math problems, and I gazed out at the snow. It wasn't very deep, and there were patches of brown snow. So, white and brown, white and brown, white and purple. Look, I squealed. Look. I knew that purple thing could be a wrapper from somebody's lunch or anything. Something might have dropped it. I climbed to the tippy top of my cage for a better look. Humphrey seems excited, Miss Brisbane said, hurrying to the table. Is something wrong?
No, I squeaked. It's a sign. She didn't understand me, of course, but Og joined in with a boing boing. They're looking outside, our teacher said. But what are they looking at? The students rushed to the window to look. Og and I continued to make a lot of noise. It's purple. It's spring, I squeaked. Boing, 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 Og added. Rosie leaned forward in her wheelchair and pressed her nose against the window. Look, she pointed, it's a purple flower coming through the snow. The classroom buzzed with excitement. Where? Thomas asked. Yeah, where? Sophie said. I see it, Mrs. Brisbane pointed, too. Over there, near the base of the tall tree. I heard lots of oohs and ahs. I think we should go out and see for ourselves, Mrs. Brisbane said. Yes, we should, I squeaked. It seemed to take them forever to put on coats and hats and boots and gloves and then tramp outside to see the flowers. My friends were excited, and so was I, until I realized that Og and I weren't going outside with them. The cold isn't good for either one of us. I knew that. But I couldn't help but wish that I could put on a coat and hat and boots and gloves and join them.
Og and I silently stared out the window until we saw Miss Brisbane lead my friends to the little spot of purple. Everyone crouched down to stare at the purple bloom. Miss Brisbane snapped a photo, and then she did something wonderful. She looked right up at our window and waved. I don't think she could see me, but I waved back. Boing! Og twanged. Boing, boing. I love Mrs. Brisbane, and at the moment, I knew that she loved me. And Og too, of course. When my friends returned to room 26, their cheeks were rosy and their eyes. When my friends, their cheeks were rosy and their eyes sparkled with excitement. What did you call that flower? What do you call that flower, Miss Brisbane? Tell the truth, Thomas asked. Tell the truth, Thomas asked. I believe it was a crocus, she said. Let's look it up. Once the gloves and hats and boots and scarves were off, Miss Brisbane opened a big book and turned page after page. Here, she said, what do you think? My friends all leaned in around her desk, where she had opened the book. I wish I could see it, I told Og. Boing, boing, he replied. It's definitely a crocus, Helpful Holly said. And do you think it poked its little head up through the snow? The door to room 26 swung open, and in walked the most important person at Longfellow School, our principal, Mr. Morales.
I saw you all tramping through the snow, he said. I wondered what you were looking at. He was smiling, so I knew he wasn't upset. There's a purple crocus in the snow, Stop Talking, Sophie said. It's the first sign of spring, and it was beautiful. I'll show you. She led Mr. Morales to the window and pointed. It's that little bit of purple near the tree. Mrs. Brisbane was behind us. Humphrey and Og seemed to spot it first, she said, because they are very wise and observant, Mr. Morales said. Thank you, I squeaked. Boing, Og said. Then I heard the voices chanting, It's spring, it's spring, it's such a wonderful thing. I looked over and saw Rosie, Holly, Nicole, and Kelsey joining hands and repeating, It's spring, it's such a wonderful thing. Mr. Morales smiled and said, I agree. I sit in my office and work at my desk and talk on my phone, and sometimes I never even look out the window. Thank you for showing me a wonderful thing. It's funny how a little purple flower in the snow can make people so happy. Hamsters and frogs, too. Mr. Morales left my classmates After Mr. Morales left, my classmates started writing about the first sign of spring. Mrs. Brisbane wrote crocus on the chalkboard. She also passed around purple crayons for my friends to share.
They were very, very quiet. They were very, very, very quiet until they left for lunch. While they were gone, I took out my notebook. I didn't have a purple crayon, but I think I did a pretty good job of drawing a crocus without one Humphrey spring things. It almost took forever to see a sign of spring, but now that it has happened, it's such a thrilling thing.
Bye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Chapter 2 of Spring According to Humphrey. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.